Hi everyone, and welcome to my second episode in the vitamins lifestyle videos that I'm doing. Um, Before we begin, I'd just like to make a statement here that these videos that I'm making are in the purest of intentions, and my goal is to give simple steps to increase the building blocks of everyone's optimum health. That is the goal I want to achieve here. So if you weren't able to catch my first episode, please do so. I'll put the links in the description box below. That covers a lot of information on probiotics and why we need probiotics. It's in a two-part series because it was quite a big topic as well. And lots of information there, some simple information to follow. So that's what I'm trying to achieve here, is simple information that you're not drowned in stuff that you don't understand. So that's what I'm trying to achieve here, so you can get the grasp of what I'm talking about. So our topic in this video today is, why do I need to supplement with vitamin D? Why is it a priority? And this is one of the very common questions that's asked in the community pharmacy where I work. So let's go over how does the body make vitamin D naturally. So a lot of you probably already know this, but we'll just cover it for education purposes. So we get UVB rays from our sun. And through the course of the day, whether it's in the strongest part of the day or whether it's in the beginning or the end of the day, the sun has times where it is more potent than others. So around the middle of the day is the strongest time where you'll catch these rays. And of course you'll get burned as well if you stay out for too long. So the best time for sun exposure is between 8 a.m. and noon. You do still get sun exposure, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but the chances are you'll probably burn a lot quicker at that time of the day. So we need to expose the largest parts of our body. So your back and your front is the best, where you'll get the most exposure. Of course, if you can't do that, other parts of the body will be okay as well. So pale skin, like myself, makes vitamin D much quicker than darker skinned people. Darker skinned people have to stay out in the sun a lot longer for the vitamin D to convert as well. And also, where you live in our world, the closer you are to the equator, the more vitamin D your body will make as the sun becomes more intense as you get closer to the equator. And 10 or 15 minutes of sun exposure 2 or 3 times a week is enough for you to get the right amount of vitamin D for your skin and for your body. And an important tip to remember, if you've been out sunbaking or whatever you're doing outside after your sun exposure, do not shower immediately after that. Allow half an hour, if you can, for these rays to synthesize on the skin and for the body to absorb the vitamin D. Okay, so there's not very many foods in our array of foods that we eat that actually contain vitamin D. So the top ones are the ones that have the most vitamin D. All the fruit varieties that I've mentioned here too only have small amounts. So let's look at these. So salmon, tuna, all your small fish, sardines, mackerel, trout. If you take cod liver oil as a supplement, is another good way of getting vitamin D. Egg yolks and butter. mushrooms, so shiitake mushrooms, chanterelle mushrooms, and oyster mushrooms, if you eat them raw, have vitamin D in them. Beef liver is another one. Your fortified foods like milk, cheese, chocolate, cereals, breads. You really can't probably avoid these fortified foods if you've got a young family, but they are synthetic vitamins and supplements that they put into the fortified food. I would strongly suggest just popping out in the sun for a little bit if you can. That would be the best way to get your vitamin D than synthetic vitamins put into your food supply. A variety of fruits and vegetables have small amounts, as I've already mentioned. The higher amount fruits and vegetables are avocados, papayas, figs, spinach, broccoli, kale, Brussels sprouts, and the humble sweet potato. And where does vitamin D get stored in the body? This is an interesting one. So the vitamin D is absorbed through the skin, or if you take a supplement, through the gut, and is transported to our liver. A binding protein travels with the blood to the liver and deposits the vitamin D, and that's where it's stored. There's lots of good reasons why vitamin D is so essential for our body. And here are a few of the things I've listed here. So let's go through them. So vitamin D is a building block and maintaining healthy bones, and also the transportation of calcium to your bones as well. Regulating cellular function is very important, and also it reduces the risk of osteoporosis. So if you have falls and fractures, your bones are stronger and less likely to do more damage. Improving your physical strength. So if you're a gym junkie, vitamin D has been proven in endurance. It will actually help with that as well. Helping prevent cancer and managing depression. Reducing the risk of type 1 and 2 diabetes through insulin resistance and high sugar levels. Improving overall mortality, bone growth, bone remodeling, regulation of regulation of muscle contractions like cramps, and the conversion of blood sugar into energy. And the last one, strong teeth, optimal immune function. Very important, the immune function with this. Not getting enough vitamin D can lead to a whole array of health concerns and conditions. So in kids, if they don't have enough vitamin D, they have a delayed growth spurts. So they don't grow very tall, and there is a risk of children getting rickets. So if you don't know what rickets is softening of the bones, where the bones bow, and you may see some little kids like that. So you end up growing with bowed bones. Osteomalacia, which is the loss of bone minerals in both children and adults. Osteoporosis, which is porous, thinning bones in adults. Hyperparathyroidism, that's a big long one for me to say, is too much calcium in the blood. And that's what you don't want at all, because if you end up with too much calcium in your blood, in your arteries, that causes arthroscoliosis and a secondary condition which could lead to a heart attack or stroke. And the last one is poor dental health and weakened immune system. What are the signs of vitamin D deficiency? Well, I've already mentioned the bent and bowed bones, like with rickets, muscle weakness, bone pain, like in your shins and your larger bones, back pain, deformities in your joints, fatigue, muscle weakness, muscle aches, muscle cramps, hormonal and mood changes like depression, and feeling very low in your libido. But not always are these symptoms shown in the body. So some people come into the pharmacy and they have not a clue that they even need vitamin D. So in that case, the question is always asked, have you had a test? So the best way to ascertain whether you need vitamin D or a supplement for vitamin D is to have a blood test to go and see your doctor. What causes vitamin D deficiency? Not getting enough vitamin D through your diet and through sunlight and taking supplements. Your body isn't absorbing vitamin D very well. Certain medical conditions can stop the body from absorbing vitamin D, mainly in the gastric area, so in the gut area. You can have some conditions that will stop vitamin D from being absorbed. After weight loss surgery, so any of the gastric band, gastric sleeve, gastric bypass, because of that type of surgery and the restricted food, a lot of people are very malnourished, so they need to look at keeping their vitamin D level up. Sometimes they can't even get a vitamin D supplement through the small openings, so you have to look at other sources of vitamin D. Certain medications inhibit absorption, such as your prednisone, which is a type of steroid, cholesterol-lowering drugs like your statins, seizure control medications, laxatives, and diuretics, and eating foods that are not rich in vitamin D as well. So just some interesting facts I thought I'd bring for you to view. It's interesting to know that vitamin D is derived from lanolin, and lanolin being our humble sheep, it's a waxy substance that is scraped from underneath the sheep's wool, and it's quite a thick, waxy substance. How much vitamin D should I take a day? Well, as I mentioned before, a blood test is always the best way to start. If you're not sure, if you've never had a blood test before, and you're going to the doctor to see about other conditions that you may have. And usually we do the checks annually with a blood test. Consuming 1,000 IUs up to 4,000 IUs daily, that's 1 gram to 4 grams a day, is considered safe and a very low toxicity rate. Studies published in January 2022 to August 23 have now found that people suffering with severe COVID-19 or even a delayed recovery known as long COVID are lacking vitamin D levels. And usually the doctor or specialist will give you a very high dose of vitamin D to help with your immune system to respond better. But that would be a conversation you would have with your doctor. I hope you've enjoyed this information today. I'm very grateful and very thankful. And if you would please subscribe to my channel and like the information if you like it. And I'd like to say thank you for watching. I am so grateful, and I will see you on episode 3. Thank you and bye.